And welcome back to the Insurance Guru. My name is Ayanda Malele and I'm your host with the most. And we will be discussing your favorite topic, short-term insurance. So this is a question that came up on my comment section, and it was from Natalie. And Natalie's question was very, very simple in terms of, Ayanda, please can you discuss negotiating terms and conditions in underwriting decisions? Very fair questions, and I think a lot of the times, we feel disempowered as clients, where we feel that we don't have a choice or a right or a voice in terms of underwriting decisions. So firstly, I just want to break her question into different parts. So obviously with underwriting is the process of the insurer wanting to gather information about you to ascertain whether they will accept your risk or not, and if they do, what the terms and conditions will be, as well as what the premium will be. So the underwriting process, unfortunately, the client has got no choice. You have to go through the process, answer all the questions in order for the insurer to say, yes, we can accept your risk, or no thank you, sorry for you. So that's the first part. So that is where we are disempowered, but we need to understand that this is because the insurer needs to ascertain and get as much information from you to know what they're willing to give and what the premium they're willing to charge is, so that the insurance contract can be concluded. So that is where we are disempowered, but this is also a time during underwriting for you to be as honest as possible. You need to have utmost good faith so that you know that whatever happens, you are fully covered. The things that you do have control over is then your excesses. And I think this is where a lot of people feel like they did not have a choice. They weren't told about this. It was just sold to them and they had to take it. So the one big thing that will shock you at claim stage is your excess. Often enough, you find that during the sales process, it's so busy. You're at the dealer floor and they want you to have this insurance policy cover so that, they can give you your car. So you go through the whole sales speech on the phone and you just, okay, yes. And your excess is 45,000 rands, but don't worry, ma'am. And then you're like, okay, no, it's fine. Thank you. You hang up the phone. 45,000 rand gone because you're looking at your new beautiful Kia Picanto, you're looking at your new Polo Vivo, or you bought that second-hand like 3 Series that you've always been wanting. Whatever it is, you're excited and you don't have time to deal with 45,000 rand. Hence, at claim stage, you find yourself, I didn't sign up for this. No, you did, but I think it's because you just were so overwhelmed and you didn't look at your insurance policy. Your biggest thing was to get the car out of the dealer floor. That's just a worst case scenario, but that is how excess becomes a big shocker. So one thing about excess is that you are, with most insurance companies, depending. Some insurance companies are still stuck on, percentage-based excesses, etc. But where an insurer charges a flat-based excess, they will generally have a base to say, our basic excess is 4,565. And then they'll give you the premium that is linked to that excess. What you as a client have the power to say is to say, listen, are you able to lower that excess for me? Because, I don't think I can afford 4,000 and some odd during a claim. Would you rather be able to, lower it to 2,000 rands, lower it to 1,000 rands, for instance? And in some cases, if you're old enough, they can even give you a zero excess. But please note that when you opt for a lesser excess, that will then mean that your premium will be higher because the liability is more on the insurer than it is on you in the event of a claim. So that's the first part of it. Another part of an excess is things that we overlook as well. You'll find that there's excesses that are pertaining to your glass damage. So glass damage is your windscreen damage. And windscreen damages, generally like an insurer will say it's 1,000, 1,001, 1,002. Different insurers do different things, but that's generally what they would charge for that excess. But also do interrogate that to say, listen, could you maybe lower my excess to maybe 500 rand so that, in an event of a claim for my windscreen, I can only pay that excess. So your excess is where you really do have the power, but with that power comes great responsibility, and the great responsibility is your premium will be slightly higher. But from experience and from helping my family members as well, is that I would rather you pay a higher premium than attach yourself to a ridiculous excess where you don't know where you're going to get that money from. I mean, honestly speaking, right now, I don't have 8,000 Rand sitting in my account. So why would I take an 8,000 Rand excess for my vehicle insurance? So that is where you've got the power. And the power as well lies in you to say, you know, with your contents cover, your buildings cover, your all risk cover, is that you just look at the excess and you interrogate that and then just lower it. And usually the difference in premium is not as bad as what you think. And listen, 50 Rands a month extra as opposed to paying 16,000 Rand for an excess, it's not a very hard choice to make for me, I think. But as I've said before, you will find that with other insurers, they are very strict on the percentage-based excess, where they will say, you know, it's either 2,000 Rands or 5% of the claim, whichever one is the highest. And with those, it's difficult for you to negotiate. Therefore, you need to look for an option that suits you best. I will do another video where I discuss maybe these percentage-based excesses in detail to try and really simplify it so that you can see for yourself, does it make sense, or if it doesn't, then opt for what makes sense to you. But that is generally where you will be able to have some power in this insurance contract. Another thing that does come up is with content cover. Security is a very big thing with content. So, you know, if you have an alarm system and you say that you've got an alarm system, that alarm system needs to be activated at all times when you're not at your premises. And should it be found that during a theft, the alarm wasn't activated, the insurer could decline that because the terms and conditions were that, you know, you need to have your alarm system activated when you're not at your premises, blah, 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 blah. So to protect yourself from that as well, you could say, you know I'm a very reckless person and I forget to put my alarm system on. So in that event, you can then say, listen, insurer, are you able to give me additional theft cover? The additional theft cover will then cover you in the event that you did not trigger your alarm when you left home or when you went to bed, etc. But with the additional theft cover, you will find that the premium obviously will be higher as well, because the insurer bears more of the liability than the client does, or the responsibility than the client does, and therefore your premium will be higher. But that is where you also have the power to say, I don't want to be worrying about my alarm system the whole time, so you know what, additional theft cover, let's just get this sorted. So those are the things that you've got power on, but with great power, as I said, comes great responsibility and a little bit of a higher premium. But unfortunately, in terms of underwriting itself and the process and the series of questions they ask you, there's absolutely nothing you can do. But there are things that you can be able to negotiate for yourself, but they will come at an additional premium. And also note, obviously, all insurance companies work differently. Some insurance companies don't offer additional theft cover, so you can't even discuss or negotiate for that. Other insurance companies do offer theft cover, so it's really all dependent, and you need to also be able to shop around. It's also very important that during your sales call that you listen attentively, carefully, and you ask questions, ask a lot of questions. And also, don't be rushed, don't feel rushed. And if you are rushed and you have to take that policy within that second to get that car, get back home, read that contract. If there's anything that you are not sure of, if there's anything you want to change, then you can call your insurance company there and there and sort it out. I think the biggest mistake that most of us do is that we just, once the policy is activated and they take their premium, it's like, whatever. It's not whatever. It becomes very, very sad and tricky and bad when it comes to claim stage. So Natalie, I hope I have answered your question. With this whole knowledge and getting to know insurance more, it's about really reading through things, and I think the most important one is come and watch this channel, because it gives you simple tips. It also gives you simple explanations in terms of things that you never understood before. So I would say that the next best thing after you read terms and conditions and this and that, come watch my channel. And also please subscribe and tell your friends, your cousins, your colleagues, and everyone you think might benefit from watching this video. And I hope I will see you again in the next video, where I'll be discussing this favorite topic of mine, and the least of most people, I'm sure. Have a great day.